Oh, that was so much more difficult than it should have been. And, well, actually, no, that was about as difficult as it usually is, unless you super cheese it. For it, though, we get a Firekeeper soul that we don't want to use, a Ring of Favor and Protection, and a Humanity. 5 Humanities, actually. That sort of implies that Lautrec has really been going around getting him some Humanities. It's quite possible that that actually came from another Firekeeper soul, if you think about it, because those things will give you 5 Humanities if you use them. I really like the way that that's set up. Let's first just equip our regular gear back, and then let's take a look at this stuff that we just got. God, like, which of these rings? I'm taking off the wolf ring. Nah, no question. These are basically the 2 best rings in the game. Ring of Favor and Protection. A ring symbolizing the favor and protection of the goddess Fina, known in legend to possess fateful beauty. This ring boosts its wearer's HP, stamina, and max equipment load, but breaks if ever removed. So, this is basically a huge buff to all of your good stats. And the only trade-off is that you essentially lose a ring slot for it. But it's fine, because if it were a regular ring, you'd basically never equip anything else anyway. So, that's the Ring of Favor and Protection. It's really fucking good. You can fight these guys on the stairs, but I'm gonna choose to do it over here, because I honestly, this is a more favorable matchup for me. But yeah, you'll notice our HP and stamina went, like, just way up just from this. The guy still hasn't done, like, the one thing that these guys have super different from the others, but I'll consider that a blessing for now, because I'm still trying to explore. There we go. We're actually taking him down fairly quickly. One thing about these guys is that they really do dictate the pace of combat with their 100% block shields. So sometimes you'll fight them and just take them down instantly. Other times it's gonna fucking suck to fight them. Anyway, over here, I sort of lied about the last shortcut of the area, but if we're being honest, it's the exact same shortcut that we opened before, just a lot grander. We get this big view out into the big city. Another really well-framed shot, but nice. We have now done pretty much everything there is to do in this area, thank God. I think. I may end up coming back if I remember anything else. But anyway, you'll notice that because we didn't kill that archer, we are now being fired upon. This is a really tough encounter, and actually, I'm just gonna go deal with this guy instead of trying to ignore him here. Those big guys will follow you up to that first platform. They literally can't get up to this second one. I think they try to walk up the stairs and then just fall down. So, fighting like this is definitely safe. I threw that out way too early, but I knew my second shot could hit it. Oh good, he did retreat. Alright, let's take him out. Once we end up doing this boss run again, I will generally ignore these guys, and trust me, we will end up doing this boss run again. But for now, I might as well take them out so I have some time to collect my thoughts and figure out what I'm going to do here. So, the servers being offline are going to present a certain unique challenge. Oh, there we go. These guys actually have a miracle that will blow you back and do a bunch of damage to you. So, if they look like they're about to, like, do something totally different, just back the fuck up. Yeah, like that. If their hands start glowing. Because that'll do a bunch of damage. At least I think it will. And also stamina damage. I also don't like him in the corner here. So you can really see what I said about, like, dictating the pace of fights. I really can't kill him unless he gives me an opening. And it's kind of up to the AI here whether or not they give me an opening. There we go. So yes, a certain unique challenge in that the boss behind this door is perhaps the most notorious boss in the entire game. It is It is just incredible. I also really love this Greek statue texture. It looks quite nice, at least until you walk up to it and sort of realize that it is literally just a flat texture. But I do like it. It sort of... It makes this whole thing just as grand as it actually is. And let me tell you, this fight is fucking grand. Oh my god. This is one of my favorite fights in the game, but also one of the hardest fights in the game. So, we'll see how this goes. You could sort of argue that this was meant to be taken on with 2 people, but I guess that's not really an option anymore, unless we want to summon Solaire, because I think he's, like, right here. But we'd have to go all the way back to the bonfire for that. So let's just try this out. This is Ornstein and Smough, one of the most notorious encounters in the entire game. One of the most difficult encounters in the entire game. It is a 2v1 fight against 2 guys who, honestly, by themselves, could probably have been bosses earlier in the game. It is incredibly difficult, and this is basically the climax of the game. And this is pretty much how it tends to go, yes. You can obviously see now why you would want a second person in this fight. It's just huge, just incredibly difficult. But honestly, I love this fight. It's so good. You have to manage just so many things at the same time and like they're 2 completely different enemies as well. Oh, but this is gonna be some shit, so we'll see how this goes. One thing I am absolutely 100% going to do is kindle this bonfire. Because trust me, you want 10 here. I maybe should have like leveled up or put a bunch of those souls that I just lost into Smith stuff, because we're probably going to need it. Yeah, that was actually a mistake. What I should have done there was beefed up the fire weapon that I have. Whoops. Well, we'll consider those souls pretty much lost at this point. Yes, let's kindle the bonfire. Let's reverse our hollowing and then kindle the bonfire. And then go pay our friend the Smith a visit. The nice thing about this area is, despite, like, even if you lose all of your souls in this fight, and you are absolutely going to lose all of your souls in this fight, you can still, like, it's so easy to get back the souls to, like, grind up a weapon if you want to start a new, if you want to try a new strategy on Ornstein and Smough. So, we'll be doing probably a few cuts here. This is going to be a long recording session. It is also worth noting that, because we have not unlocked Warp yet, and we are at the very last point in the game before we unlock a Warp, you really are kind of stuck here. You're not, like, stuck here, but you're definitely, like, incentivized to just stay here and figure out a solution, because they provide you with a new Smith, they provide you with enemies that give you a ton of souls, they give you a lot of tools for being able to power through this without having to walk all the way back to Firelink Shrine. This is in some ways the most isolated that you'll ever feel in this game, and that you're ever really meant to feel in this game. And I do kind of like it for that. This fight, though, holy fuck. Thank God, we can now afford maybe a single piece. No, we're actually short of a single piece of Green Titanite. Oh, I did it again. Jesus. I'm gonna have to go back to the bonfire here. Oh, this is so bad. Alright, so I was wrong about the position of Solaire's summon sign, but there it is. And we might as well use it since we're human right now. Often I find that bosses, or that like NPC summons can be like more trouble than they're worth, but in this fight, just having a second body there to draw aggro for as long as Solaire happens to last will be good. I've also upped this butcher's knife that we made fire a while back to +5. I honestly don't know if it's, like, gonna be worth it, but we might as well give it a shot, right? One thing I don't like about the summon sign being here is that this fucking dude is gonna just come up here, and Solaire's gonna be there, and God. Okay, good. At least he didn't hit Solaire. You know what? Fuck it. I am going to run, and hopefully Solaire will come with me. I swear, if he fucking dies before he gets here, that would suck. Well, please follow me, Solaire. So, I think that this should do extra damage against, Ornstein. I'm not sure about Smough. We'll see if it just ends up not even being worth it. So the nice thing is that we can at least take hits with our shield. It's probably our one saving grace currently. Hello, Solaire. Nice of you to join me. Alright, so the nice thing is with Solaire drawing aggro... Wow, that's so much less damage. This was very not worth. The nice thing about Solaire drawing aggro here is that I can really focus on killing Ornstein. An important fact about this fight is that once you kill one of them, the other one is going to heal back to full. So you really, really want to focus down one of them as much as possible. And this is also what makes having another person in this fight so useful, because they can just distract the other one. It doesn't really matter, like, you don't really care that their damage is a bit wasted. You care that you do not have to worry about a large man with a hammer murdering the shit out of you. The theme for this is also incredible, just for the record. As weird as it is, I do like that the butcher's knife has a shorter attack animation, so that even if I'm doing less damage, I'm much less likely to get punished. Alright. I really, really want to make sure that I kill Ornstein before Smough gets Solaire, though, because if the two of them both die, we are in a lot more trouble. Oh, thank God. I think I may have just saved him there. There we go. Okay, good. So, on one of them dying, you actually get a special cutscene for the other one, like of the other one basically killing the first one. And they actually act very differently. It is also worth noting that Solaire is just fucked in this side of the fight in an extremely don't even bother kind of way. Like, they both have those kinds of attacks. Wow, that was annoying. They both have those kinds of giant attacks, and trust me when I say that it's going to kill your NPC partner. So, the general tips I have for this part of the fight are stay behind him, stay really close to him because the hammer's hitbox does not do as much damage really close. However, they intentionally designed this as a, like, they intentionally gave him a punish for this type of behavior. If you see him about to do a butt slam, run. You will die if you don't. Alright, well, we're chipping off, and it's not great damage, but this isn't too bad. A lot of different people have different opinions on whether the powered-up Smough or the powered-up Ornstein is harder. I prefer fighting Smough. Ornstein has some real shit to his. This is really just a matter of managing position, and is kind of a thing I'm a lot better at. Yeah, that. If you get caught in that full force, you will die. I have a shield that is resistant to lightning, and it still ended up doing a lot of damage to me. This is also probably the Eagle Shield's best fight. Anyway, while we're here, and hopefully while I don't die, I should mention that in the boss cutscene, in the boss cutscene where one of them basically absorbs the other's power, if Ornstein dies first, Smough smashes him with his hammer, as we saw here. If Smough dies first, Ornstein sort of puts his hand on him in sort of like a soldier's gesture of remembrance. Like, there are very clearly, these two have quite different opinions of each other. And the game conveys that through such a small, simple cutscene that is just so effective. And that's really like, oh god, this is a place you don't want to be, standing right in front of his hammer charge. Because it can just sap your stamina by hitting over and over and over. So watch out for that. I also don't like him in a corner, because I do feel safer by his butt. You can quote me on that if you want to. God, this fight is so punishing. Another thing, if you don't have the stamina to block that, it will absorb the rest of it with your health. And trust me when I say you probably won't survive it. But even just from what was probably a 10-second cutscene, one of which you won't even see, you get so much characterization for the bad blood between these two characters, where, like, Smough definitely has a beef with Ornstein, and it's one that you really never get to see anywhere else. I just love that kind of characterization. Yeah, even with the Great Shield, being landed on by this large man is enough to really just take us out. Honestly, a good way to have done this probably would have been the black pine resin, or whatever, the charcoal pine resin. Oh god. just because that would have been able to put that on our Man-Serpent Greatsword. On the other hand, the Butcher Knife has a lot less follow-through than this Greatsword, and so, like, with the Man-Serpent Greatsword, what just happened right there might have actually killed us. We went in for an attack, and he started charging up his fire thing, and it legitimately, like, we might not have had enough time to put our shield up for it. So I am actually kind of okay with having switched to the Butcher Knife. I'm trying to bait him into attack here. Okay, that's good. I can deal with that. Of course, if he chain does it, then I might have a problem. There we go. Just in the middle of the room. We can survive this. We can heal through it. Another thing I like about Big Smough is that he gives you a lot of time to really recover from his attacks. I feel like healing is a lot less dangerous in this version of the fight. Sorry this is taking quite as long as it is. One thing about summoning that I think I may have mentioned already. Oh, geez, that actually got through our shield. Oh, God, if I fucking die here. One thing about summoning is that it does increase the health of the boss. So it does lead to really tanky moments. Okay, that right there would have killed us if we were using the Man-Serpent Greatsword. You can argue that we would have ended the fight already without it, but... how did I whiff that? But that is one reason that I really like having this faster weapon here. As long as he doesn't do a charge attack, because that's the one that I really don't like dealing with. As you can see, given that it was the one thing that almost killed us, I think we have this. I was a little worried that might not get through our shield. Oh god, you're out of Estus. I need to finish this. I made a mistake. Now he's not gonna let me finish it for that. When he's doing the charge attack, your best bet is just to bait him behind a pillar like this, because that will stop it. Oh god, if I fucking die here. Oh! I made that so much harder than it had to be. You also only get the soul of the second one that you kill. So in order to get Ornstein's soul, you have to kill Ornstein second. Now that we're here, this is a very pretty room. I mean, we've destroyed most of it, but it's nice. There is a statue of Lord Gwyn, a statue of a lady that we just keep seeming to see around, and a conspicuously missing statue, which is kind of interesting. We can also hear elevators, and one of the things that a lot of players will notice is with these elevators is that you actually get one really big one and one really small one. So it continues this whole theme of like things built for people and also giants at the same time. And I quite like it for that. Like, even to the very end, now that we have made it to the very end of Honor Londo, they still have that care for detail. It's very nice. I am lighting the fuck out of this and resting at this. Oh my god, I took that first sip of Estus way too confidently, and I almost got punished for it. When he does that run attack, you really need to just get out of the way, because it will destroy your stamina, even with one of the strongest shields in the game. Over here, we get the Armor of Favor. This is Lautrec's armor set. It only appears here if you kill him, so this is essentially his final resting place. This armor set is pretty fucking good. It takes Twinkling Titanite, so it doesn't scale up immensely, but it is quite powerful. Embraced armor of favor, armor of Lautrec the Embraced, representing the goddess Fina's love. The goddess's arms wrap around it, as if to embrace the wearer. I think the other stuff might have slightly different... Yes, during his solitude, he forsook everything, for he believed in the goddess's love for him. And you get just that little bit extra of Lautrec. Fina is never mentioned anywhere else in this game, but you get that little vignette, and that is really, like, just one of the strongest things about Dark Souls. All of these little vignettes that you get out of it, that they never really what is the word? Expound upon. I know there's a better word for that. But anyway, they never really go into them more than they do, but it creates a world that just has so much depth and so many interesting little corners to it. It's so good. This game is fantastic, and I think we should really complete our quest. We've gone through Honor Londo, right? That was it. What more could there be left? Other than a giant woman. Once again, framing, fantastic. The music that sort of just starts. Ooh.
And overcome much, chosen undead. Come hither, child.
And so, an interesting design note kind of thing. This is one of the few encounters where instead of you talking to an NPC, the NPC talks to you. Like, before, a lot of times that happened, it would be like Griggs trapped in the room, where it was for you to notice him. This was to really give you an idea of power relationship here, you know? This is not really at the behest of the player. Now, obviously, you could just turn around and leave, but it is just such a nice touch, and I really enjoy it. Another thing about the messages being offline is that there aren't 50,000 orange soapstone steins saying try holding with both hands, but that's neither here nor there.
O chosen undead, I am Guinevere, daughter of Lord Gwyn and Queen of Sunlight. Since the day Father his wounded obscureth, I have awaited thee. I bequeath the Lord vessel to thee.
So before I go on, one line that is really important and that I'm not sure ever comes out, like, that I can get her to say again, is, since the day my father did his form obscureth. That is a very strange choice of words, given what we will eventually learn about Lord Gwyn's fate. And it is a really deliberate choice of words for what Lord Gwyn, for what ended up happening to Lord Gwyn. And we get the Lord Vessel for our troubles. And we get a warp along with the word Lord Vessel, which is what that told us up there.
And beseech thee, succeed Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices.
And so now, we get what is truly our final quest of the game that will carry us through the entire rest of what's left. We need to place the Lord Vessel, and we need to replace Lord Gwyn. But you'll notice that they didn't really tell us what that meant exactly.
O chosen undead, thou hast journeyed far.
She has a covenant. It is called the Princess Guard. It is basically a PvE covenant and actually has some spells that will allow you to heal your allies, like when you're summoned. It's neat. It's also kind of useless now. Yeah. But it's called the Princess Guard, and it is basically, you know, the guards of this great goddess Guinevere, this goddess that we're finally meeting in the flesh, perhaps. They do have it.
Father is wounded obscureth. I have awaited thee, once living, now undead, and a fitting heir to Father Gwyn thou art. O chosen undead, and beseech thee. Succeed, Lord Gwyn, and inheriteth the fire of our world. A grave and arduous test of mental, yea, it shall be. Indeed, we had felt the warmth of fire, its radiance and the life it sustaineth. Without fire, all shall be a frigid and frightful.
Capital D on the dark there. That's relevant. Anything else?
Please, Father's role thou shouldest hew, and inheriteth the fire of our world. Thou shalt endeth this eternal twilight, and avert further undead sacrifices. King Seeker Friend, the primordial serpent, shall guide thee.
So we get there, inherit the fire of our world, which is, again, an interesting choice of words. Yep. Okay. There we go. I think I've finished off her dialogue.
Thou shalt go forth, chosen undead. May thou be one with the sunlight forevermore.
So, this is one of the more interesting encounters of the game, in that it really plays on the fact that you've played a video game before, because you're really supposed to just accept that you've defeated this giant trial that was set up for you, and now you are worthy of becoming the ultimate yada yada yada, you inherit the fire, whatever the game wants to tell you. But not everything is what it seems here. But we don't have much, we won't gain much from trying to pry into that a little further. So for now, I think we're gonna finish up. We made a lot of progress today. I beat 2 incredibly difficult encounters. I think this is a good place to stop. Join us next time for what is, I guess, the back third of Dark Souls, which is perhaps starts to show some of the game's seams a bit more than this start did. But, which is still worth looking at, still worth, seeing the good decisions they made, the bad decisions they made. There's still a lot left to this game that I really enjoy, and I hope you'll join me for the rest of it. Actually, fuck. I will not read the Lord Vessel's description if I don't go check it out right now. And we do get it taken away from us, just incidentally. Lord Vessel bestowed upon the chosen undead, who is destined to succeed Lord Gwyn. The chosen undead is granted the art of warping between bonfires. To open the final door, place this vessel on the Firelink altar, and fill it with powerful souls. And there you have it. That's the rest of our quest, just laid bare. I hope you'll join me for it. See you later.